It's time for a review. Golly.
Alrighty, it's time for a review. If you're watching on YouTube, please click like, leave a comment of what you think about Operation Perfect Zero. I believe it's called Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero. It's so perfect. It's absolute. If you're watching on Twitch, also leave a comment what you think about it. If you're watching live, feel free at any time to leave your comment in the chat there. I'm just going to go ramble on like I do. I do playthroughs here Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. But since in December, there's really not many games I really want to play through coming out right now. Kind of taking a little bit of time and enjoying a little bit of the multiplayer life. So, checking out some games I've really kind of wanted to play and expand upon here in the recent past. So, Call of Duty BlackOps4 just came out with Operation Absolute Zero. I keep calling it Perfect Zero. I don't know. Maybe because I played Perfect Dark back in the day. I thought it was great. And they just released 2 new maps, Madagascar and Elevation. So, of course, as normal, you can play them, just them, and everything. And they're okay maps. They are much larger than the current maps, really, that are in rotation. So it's kind of exciting to see a little bit of a larger map getting put in there. And, you know, they definitely have many more ways of flanking. There really isn't too good of a kind of like a camp spot that like often does pop up, like a firing range and stuff. You know, in the older maps was more so kind of get your team to post up in one spot and, you know, kind of just hold there. You can pull it off in some areas of the new maps, but definitely much larger, many more entries. Like you'll have a window, a door, you know, or even the parts that are outside, a rock to run around and like maybe you could vault over and stuff. It's definitely interesting. So I'm liking the direction there. Like, but then again, I do worry that like in other Call of Duties that have done season passes, as the seasons pass, the maps get worse and worse. So by the time you get to like the last map pack, when most of the team is now already working on the next, you know, Call of Duty, you know, and they're not really working on maps anymore, you know, you get like the most bland map ever with like no textures and it's just blah. So it's like, if this is the best we're gonna get from all of the seasons, you know, of course I'm a little bit concerned. I'm not really saying, you know, it ruins the game or anything, but I mean, we do gotta remember we did pay $100 for this, and there's no story mode, so a major cost for the making of the game has been taken away. And the mode that was added is a mode that you can get versions of completely for free with no need to pay a dime other than paying your internet subscription. You know, on consoles or, you know, your internet subscription to your ISP, you know, so the cost is still there. So if those are the best we're going to get, I think they're good. They were good. Like, I'm not let down by them. I enjoyed them. I thought they were good. I really am not used to them yet, so I don't really know my roots. You know, I'm finding I'm doing better on, like, the older maps and, like, some of the new maps sometimes. You know, but it's the honest thing with the queue, especially when you're solo queuing. Like today, I played a lot of the Mercenary Deathmatch Mosh Pit, and I do love this mode because it's no parties, and I really am a fan of that because when you're solo queuing into these games and stuff, it does kind of get annoying when you'll get an entire enemy team that's grouped, you know. And you just get housed so bad, and it's not going to rebalance that team, you know. And the major downside is, I don't know, let me know in the chats on YouTube, Twitch, or even live right now if you've experienced it too, or if you've noticed it while I've been playing it. But I do notice, the weird thing is, every time I kind of queue, my initial queue, the first match I get into is quite often a loss. And not just like a normal loss, but like a bad loss, or I get queued into a match that's already started. So it's almost like you gotta earn the balancing, you know, and it's a little bit annoying in some ways because then you want to stay in a match, but then you stay in a match and then most of the people leave, and then it like kicks you out of that match and doesn't refill it somehow, you know, which then forces you to re-queue, you know. So I do feel that the queue could use some fixing, some tinkering with, but I've noticed this in BlackOps4, World War II, and now this one. So I don't think that it's going anywhere anytime soon. I just think it's just their way of doing it, you know. Fill you into the matches that are probably going to be losses just to fill a spot, you know, so that match can, you know, progress. And then usually, like, you lose that, like, first match, but then the second match you win, like, crazy good. And I'm finding, like, maybe it's, like, 1 in 6, 1 in 7 matches are, like, a really, like, to the end, like, close as heck. Like, as long as people aren't leaving, like, left and right, I find it does eventually balance it. It will, if you're doing, especially with the no teaming queues, it will eventually balance it if everybody doesn't leave. And then you get these fights that are like, oh, it's so good. Like, I don't want to win everyone. I want to feel like it's down to the wire. Like, the last kill. Like, we had a Nuketown fight, and we were 3 kills away. And I'm legit. They get the last kill on us. And I am legit about to do my lightning strike. You know, and then they get the last kill on us. And it's like, no! You know? And that just feels amazing. So, the queue could use some fixing. But let's keep it to Operation Absolute Zero. So, second day of playing through, and I do still feel like I mentioned in the part 1, I do think that the Contraband Operation Absolute Zero tier here, and even the Winter tier, like, I think that the things they're giving you are very, very bland and not very interesting. And I am absolutely still concerned that there's 2 weapons on this that I didn't get a chance to check yet, but I have not seen them in the main choice. So let's check it now. Damon 3 XP. It's a submachine gun. So let's see. Let's see. Submachine gun. Okay. Whew! Weapon level 1. When do you unlock this? Let me... I don't want to mess with the other thing. Huh. So it's not giving me any level to unlock it. So, I mean, they released a gun. Let's look at the stats and compare them. So the fire rate is 2 away from max. So it's 4-4, 2 away from max, and then 6. So that one is 7, 4-4, but then heavy down on the fire rate. 4, and then just mediocre. No one probably uses GKS, I'm guessing. Unless the mods you put on it, maybe. Then the Spitfire. Spitfire is very similar to it. If you look, you look at that. Wish it won't let me go up and down just to compare them. So 5-4, 3 away from max, and then 5. So 4-4, 2 away from max, and then 6. So the only difference is you get a little bit more damage on the Spitfire, and teeny tiny bit less fire rate, teeny tiny bit less accuracy on the Spitfire, but more damage. So you're definitely getting... So 5... So this goes up by 1 in fire rate, and it goes up by 1 in accuracy, but only goes down by 1 in damage. Down by 1 and that, up by damage, and then down in accuracy. So they're pretty much the same in many ways, but you get a little bit more fire rate and a little bit better accuracy. So it's like it's a Spitfire, but just maybe a little bit better, because that little bit of damage I don't really think would matter once you get some attachments on it, you know. But since it is really close, okay. But still, I have to stick to my guns. I do not feel that ever a thing should be in this game that is an actual weapon to unlock. Like, I feel that that is absolutely ludicrous, that you've paid for this, you've paid for the season pass, this is something that comes with the season pass, you should just get any bit of equipment, gun, or anything. You do not need to earn anything more. Everything that should be earnable should just be cosmetic only. I think it is absolutely ludicrous that there's 2 weapons that are available through this. So it ends in 65 days, so you only have a few months to get it. Which, okay, cool, that'll probably go into the next season pass, but then what guns and what stuff is releasing in that one? So it's forcing you to continuously play the game when you've paid $100 for this. So it's a little bit of that greediness peeking its head out, and I think it will go unnoticed because, you know, maybe the gun's not the most amazing gun, but who knows, you know? How we know that they're never going to balance the game in a way that you don't get that gun? You know, I think in the very least, they should just unlock that gun for everybody that has a season pass at the end of those 65 days. So, pretty much, if you get it early, you're rock and rolling with it early, but then at the end of that 65 days, everybody who has season pass is going to get it. Because that's the one thing we got to stay away from with these microtransactions and season passes, and it's absolutely ludicrous, and, you know, that's something I got to put my foot down on. The rest of it, I don't care about. I don't mind, like, you know, these companies want to make money. I refuse to say they need to make this money, because, I mean, we've seen, you know, I will always stand my guns and say Red Dead Redemption 2, we've seen a game with the most gigantic storyline, the largest map, and it also has multiplayer. And they only charge $60. No season pass, none of that. Now, granted, they do have, you know, microtransactions built in, and, you know, for the multiplayer, yes, they're kind of manipulative on that. Yeah, they are. But, you know, $60 for it, you know, that's just so cheap, you know, that it's hard to overlook. And the multiplayer, I played it. Yeah, you're not going to be getting a lot of the stuff, but, you know, it is going to take a while to get a lot of stuff, but it's not that terrible. You know, as long as you're not buying clothes and all the other stuff, and you're doing quests, and maybe if you have some friends to play with, you know, or maybe you break out of your shell and you make some friends while you're playing, you know, I think it's very doable and very easy. If you have people you're playing with on that, you're gonna rock through it easy. But this isn't a review about that game. This is a review about this game. And this game has guns that other people are gonna have because they have more time than I do, probably. Or maybe they don't have work, school, streaming, everything, you know. Because this isn't my main game, and I'm not going to be able to make this my main game. And in almost 10 hours of playing the season, I am at level 7 out of 100. So, if in almost, you know, 10 hours playing this on stream and off stream, you know, I'm at level 7, so it's at least 100 hours worth of playing. And I stream only 3 days a week, so for myself, sometimes I get an hour here and there during the week, you know, after work and school, you know, to maybe play an hour, but I'm not going to be able to do 100 hours or more in 65 days, because in the future on the stream, mainly I do playthroughs. I play different things and stuff, you know. I can't make this the only game I'm going to be playing, and I don't know why people would. Like, I could see burnout being really bad, and this, I think, sometimes causes burnout, because then you feel like you're obligated to play. Like, you gotta get on to do your daily, you know, tier pass. So, like, every 12 hours you get that tier pass where your first win of the game just levels you up in the tier. So, technically, in 100 days, if you had 100 days, if you logged in every day and got a win, you'd get up the 100 tiers, but you only got 65 days in this, so you can't get it through the daily. But maybe with those wins and the extra XP, that would get you there if you got on every day just to get that one win. But you shouldn't be obligated. You're paying for this. Like, back in the day, the mentality of the game was that it's going to be so awesome, it's going to shock you, it's going to change your world. Like, it's so crazy epic that just, it goes down in the annals of history. That's where Halo 1, Halo 2 came from. That's where Gears of War 1 and 2 came from. That's where Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, World at War, somewhat Black Ops 2. That's where those games came from. It was in an era and a mindset by the companies that we are going to legit put money into this. We're not going to just be trying to make the biggest payday ever for our board. And then they would make an epic game that people are still buying today. So it's really this ludicrous mentality by these companies nowadays where they're just so short-sighted that they can't see past their hand of trying to grab the money from our pockets, that they don't realize if you make a great game, it will last not 1 year, but 10 years, 20 years. People still play Modern Warfare 1. They still play it. People still play Halo 1 and Halo 2. People still play them, and they will play them for years to come because they were made in a way to shock you, to just make you feel like, what did they do? Now, granted, many of these games compared to what are in games of today don't compare, but at that time, they were the most forward-thinking, most expansive, most risky things to create. They were taking leaps into the dark and trying to create stuff that was unbelievable. I mean, we ended up getting a whole forge where you can make your own maps in Halo. We ended up getting some of the greatest co-op experiences in story modes. We ended up getting some of the greatest stories in story modes. In games where they didn't have, the same budgets that you have today. In some ways, I don't think it gets harder to make those things. You should just make the same pretty much things, but make them look nicer. That's all you need to do. Continue the stories. Pay for great writers. A story will sell your game for you. So many companies were saying, games with stories won't sell. People want only multiplayer, I tell you. The multiplayer.
Multiplayer is all people want, I tell you.
But, what won Game of the Year? God of War? What? Huh? A game with story? Oh my goodness.
Story! Home! Story! What is that? Multiplayer! No! What? How did the story lose out? How did it happen, I wonder?
Maybe it's because people like to be enthralled. People like to be a part of something. People like to feel like you created something for them to experience more than just yet another queue, which has yet another grouping of maps that aren't hard to really make. Yes, it's hard to make it tactical and make it fun, make it feel balanced, but this isn't the crux of the hardness in game creation. The crux of the hardness in game creation is in the dang story. It's in the animations of that story. It's in the creation of something that, yes, granted, people might only play once, a majority, but I've played the Halo storyline about 30 times, 40 times, 50, maybe. I can't even keep count, because once you had those legendary modes, I would just spend days with my friends coming over, or, eventually when co-op was online, there was a time where these games were so freaking good, people would get on a bus, take car service, have their moms and dads drop them off at your house, or you would go to their houses to play this thing together. But no, nowadays, you even have the opportunity of the internet. You don't even have to get dressed. Because back in the day, someone's going over your house, better put some clothes on. Better clean up the house. Nowadays, you can leave the plates on the table, the clothes on the floor, everything the way it is, and you still can't make a good story that makes people want to come together. So, you know, this long kind of explanation on that part of it, you know, seeing this, you know, a tiered thing that also gives you guns. The majority of things are just like loading screens, your little tag things there, and your icon things to use in your tag, the banner things, you know, a little dance. Oh, we get a little dance set. When are you dancing? When are you dancing in this game? Maybe in Blackout in front of your friends, you know, for a split second, or you get a kill on someone, you're gonna pop out a dance, maybe. So, what, for like in the entire night of playing, maybe you're dancing for a total of 5 minutes. Yet there's like 10 dances here to earn. Yeah, thanks. I'd rather gun skins, to be honest with you. Just give me a ton of these really cool animated gun skins. I'd be kind of happy with that. Give me skins for the characters, cool. You know, give me things that actually cost money instead of like, you know, banners and icons. Like, yeah, I can see a dance does cost something. You know, it's an animation. You know, it definitely does cost probably more than a gun skin and everything. But the rest of them, I mean, really, let's look through it. Tag, calling card, sticker. Oh, look, a skin that's only for one character. So after you've now played 15 plus hours to maybe get this skin, now, you know, you got a skin for Zero, the new character, which is a cool character. I do personally like playing Zero, but if you don't like playing Zero, screw you, take the freaking skin, you know? Like, too bad that, you know, they made one skin for one character, and then yet again, I will not stop mentioning this, how do you frickin' split up rock, paper, scissors? That's 3 hours worth of playing there, or more, because that's a higher level, so it's probably going to take more XP to get them, you know, to get 3, to finish rock, paper, scissors. So when you get the tier 1, well, screw you. If someone's pulling out paper, you're screwed. Just because they're a level ahead of you, you'll never win that rock, paper, scissors. Just because they're a level ahead of you, you're screwed. And then, you know what? If the person's got scissors, you know, and you've only got rock, well, you know, they still got the paper. You're screwed. You're screwed. It's so stupid. How does it not just do a random choice? This is basic coding. I don't know anything really about coding other than a little bit about basic coding, and it's a thing called read rand line. This all you had to do was a little read rand line and give it the 3 options there and let it freaking read rand line, choose between those 3, so someone could do rock, paper, scissors, and it chooses a random RNG of the rock, paper, scissors, and you converse to your friends and see who wins for the fun of it. For those 5 total minutes out of like a 10-hour night of gaming when you might be dancing, at least you could play a full game rock, paper, scissors if you didn't have 30 plus hours to play a damn game. So for me, this part of it, I paid you $100. The least you could freaking do is give some good stuff instead of stickers. Sticker, you know, emblem, calling card, sticker. Oh, another skin that's just for one character. But if you don't happen, oh wait, this is just a Blackout character. Oh gee golly, it's just a Blackout character. You know, because who would ever want to play with that character and anything else? No. Let's get some more calling cards. Let's get, oh, here we go. We got another outfit. That looks so cool. So if you really like Crash, if that's your one character to play, get ready to put 52 hours into it. If you really like Recon, get ready to put 48, 49 hours into it. For an actual, like, this is a cool skin. Like, this is something neat. Whereas now, 3 levels later, oh, you recolored the under bit of the clothing, whereas this dude is a freaking samurai? How is the level 51 a basic recolor, but the level 48 is a freaking samurai? How does that happen? How is a samurai not, like, the hardest thing to get? Oh, wait, don't forget, though, you gotta get your, you know, Damon 3XP there, your submachine gun, another thing for that there. Just saying. Let's get some more icons. Oh, here we go. A weapon camo. Sports weapon camo from Black Market. Nice. You know, now this makes sense. Something that unlocks for everything. Not just one thing, not just one gun, not just one character, everything. Most of this list should be that. It should be unlocks for everything. You know, like this, the war paint. It could be old characters that have war paint personalization. I don't know how many of them have it, but I'm pretty sure all of them do. Well, except for the ones that wear, like, masks. So I guess you're poop out of luck on that. But then here's another one, 65. Look at this. Look at the skin. Let's wait a half hour for it to load a skin, please. Golly. That looks sick. But, oh, man, that's going to take me 65 to, 70 hours to get. Well, I'm not going to be getting that. Oh, but, I could purchase tiers 8 through 65. Maybe I should use that $25 worth of CP that the game gave me for paying $100 for this game, even though they took away story mode from this game. So to sum it up, let's go all the way to end. Oh, here's the other gun, by the way, the Fighter Ace tactical rifle that you can get there. Look at that beauty. That beauties. Let's see. After all this time, you get the SWAT RFT. Full auto assault rifle. Well-rounded with reliable damage. So let's compare that one. The SWAT RFT. Let's see. An assault rifle. Let's see. Okay, so doesn't really look that amazing. Fire rate's the same as its range. As its damage. Accuracy is 3 shorter than its fire rate, so fire rate's 1 lower on that, but then accuracy goes up. So it's similar. I'd have to add up the amounts just to make sure that they are the same. But damage is high, fire rate is high, range, and then accuracy is pretty good. Fire rate's really high. So these turn them into like SMGs because of fire rate being high. I actually should play more with the KM57 judging by those stats here. Well, I do like the Rampart as well. Look at these stats. I kind of like that. I mean, because do you really need the range in this game? You need the fire rate and you need the damage, it seems. Because you need to just break through their health as fast as possible. So that does seem like it could be a powerful gun. That might actually be the gun I've been seeing some people use. I'm looking forward to leveling that and getting that after 100 plus hours that I won't be able to ever play or unlock after I paid $100 for a game and then the game comes back at me as earn more. Earn your items now. You paid for our product, now earn your frickin' items because that's how important you are. Because you better play our damn game and you better love it. Because since you paid an exuberant amount of money for less game, you better earn what we're adding to it. We're not just giving maps and giving items. We'll give you the maps that we said we'll give you, but everything frickin' else you better earn. If we're gonna add guns, we're gonna add them, but you better frickin' earn it. That's what it really feels like, and that's ludicrous. When you give money for something, you should be treated like a valued person. You should be treated like a person that, gave money for something, in the very least. And money's not easy to come by, especially in this day and age, So, I don't know. For me, that's ludicrous. Now let's move on to talk about the zombies map. I checked out the Blackout stuff. The Blackout wasn't too amazing. It's just like they added something to the map and stuff. Like, I'm not like the biggest. I'm not over my head in love with it. But so onto zombies. I played some of the Dead of the Night map there. It was alright. Like zombies never amazed me. Like the zombies in this game, like I like the original zombies. It actually felt like gory and scary, and the way the sounds were felt a lot scarier to me. Whereas this, it's it does have its scares, and the AI is pretty good. They do kind of surround you a little bit more than the older one. but it seems definitely to me a little bit more cartoony, and I think it would be better with it being more like scary and, you know, like this. Like by the time we got to level 15, and there was just so many zombies. Like I was dying left and right. I'm not that great at it, you know, because it's a little confusing where are all the guns and stuff like that, you know, and you try to learn the map by playing the map, and there's no real way to really just run around the map without playing the map, so you have to earn the knowledge you gain on the map, which I can understand how some people enjoy that journey, and, you know, it gives you a reason to play it again and again. You know, I'm definitely not going to fault the company for making it harder to learn the map. Like, that's something just general that, you know, games have always kind of done. Like, you got to earn the knowledge, you know. I don't draw the line at that, you know, because that makes sense. Earn the knowledge, but don't have to earn the weapons when you pay for the game. You know, so everything before, you know, when it comes down to the knowledge of a map, I can't fault them on that. And the map is kind of cool. You're in like a museum, library type place. When a party at an English mansion, oh, you're in a mansion, turns into an undead bloodbath, a phony psychic, stage show cowboy, retired general, and bedeviled butler must fight for their lives. Dead of the night. Classic story-based survival mode. It is, you know, it's funny. Sometimes voiceovers do make me laugh. And I do think that, you know, in some ways they're doing right by the zombie fans, you know, with these modes. I do think that they do put some good effort into it, and, you know, I could see playing if I had friends to play with, like, you know, here, you know, maybe in split screen, or, you know, even doing co-op online. I could definitely see the mode being like a ton of fun, but I try and look at it also from the solo player mindset. And from the solo player mindset, I definitely have talked to more people in the zombie mode than I've ever talked to in the multiplayer mode, which is crazy, because back in the day, like we were talking in the stream earlier, Wolfie_TTV and I were talking about, and I think who else we were talking about, I can't remember. Yeah, it was Wolfie and I, and we were talking about how old days of Modern Warfare 2, you know, the chat was definitely toxic. There was a lot of yelling and a lot of screaming, but some of the best conversations to ever be had were had in there as well. And it felt like a time when gamers were playing games to get to know other gamers, even though, yes, there was a lot of yelling and stuff, but it was understandable yelling. It was someone being frustrated because they lost so hard, you know, they're gonna start to yell. Or it was someone, you know, coming in purposely talking smack, you know, and it was like a mini game inside the game where just all of a sudden, like, you know, it would degrade into a back and forth of just people screaming at each other. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was so much fun, you know, but it wasn't, you know, back then, you know, it wouldn't escalate to someone trying to hunt you down and taking you out. Nowadays, it's like there is the risk that someone's going to try and hunt you down and take you out. And there's so many more capabilities for people to find you these days, you know, whereas back in the day, what did you exist on socially, internet-wise? You know, nowadays, you got like a PlayStation or whatnot, like, you know, you have a link to something or whatnot. Your accounts are linked to something or stuff. You know, sometimes you can hide in these games if your name is very different from other things. But there's so many ways to find people. It's honestly crazy. Just everything on the internet is just giving away your private, you know, info so easily. You know, so it is a different day and age due to that. You know, there is a air of, you know, danger. So compared to back in the day where it did feel much more anonymous, you know, I do feel you talk less. But in Zombies mode, I do feel like you will get to know the people you're playing with, and you're playing with them for a much longer period of time. So it's nice. You get to meet some people, talk to them, make some friends that you wouldn't have made any other way, really. And you work together and play in that mode. And then maybe eventually after that, maybe you keep on staying friends, and now you're playing the multiplayer modes, and you're doing the other things and everything. So, like, I do hold an affection for this mode because of that, for sure. And I thought it was okay. thought the map was okay. It was fun. But, you know, zombies for me, like I said, I do miss the horror aspect of it a little bit more. But I think that, you know, for the solo player, this isn't a bad mode to go with. It's you know, it's a little bit harder to kind of, you don't know where the guns are, you don't know where anything is, you know, until you play it and play it and play it. So, you know, it is a little bit of an uphill battle for the solo player, but it's definitely, you know, it's a good mode to play. You'll get to know people, and because of all of that, it's good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy I got another map in this mode, and I think I do like it more than the others, like, you know, the Voyage of Despair and the other modes here. Voyage of Despair. I do like 9, which was like the Coliseum one. I thought that was kind of neat. And it has like a little mini game to do in it where you have to get the shields to unlock all the dudes and stuff. Like, I like the mini game in it. Blood of Dead was okay. Voyage of Despair was okay. Classified was really complex, the map. Like, I didn't know where I was. There's like teleporters here and there. Like, I was so lost, you know. I'd probably have to play that a lot to get it. But, you know, compared to all of them, I would say that I like 9 the most. But Dead of the Night, though, it's second place for sure. For sure. So, you know, with this season pass, they did right by the Dead of the Night one. But we'll see what else they come up with in the future. You know, we'll see. It took a little while. I was kind of surprised. It took a while to queue. So I don't know if maybe people aren't queuing, or it's just because I'm too low of a level. You know. But my one downside to this, though, is I feel like they do have the tutorials, learn basics of what's new zombies and stuff. But without that, it's kind of daunting to kind of, you know, learn your stuff. Like, get your class and what elixirs are. Do you only get to use them once? Like, I have one elixir left on that ability right there. So does that mean it's gone on the next time I play zombies? Like, I only got one left? Like, you know, it's like, it's still very confusing, you know. Actually, just completely, oh no, there we go. Chaos Story. So then you got Chaos Story, you got Aether Story. You know, it's a lot of mise en place here, you know, to kind of get used to, you know. And then you realize, too, so Chaos Story. Why is Tempest? Okay, so it's Tempest that has that. See, look, it's on Guardian right now. But Guardian doesn't have that ability. See, Tempest has that ability. So if I switch between these two, it stays on Tempest, but it's flashing at the top. Then I'm on Guardian, so I gotta go to the right to get the elixir to pop up there. Found a glitch! And I could replicate the glitch. That is a glitch there. So it's keeping the Tempest stuff up after your switchings, even though you're on Guardian up here. Bam. Then it resets. Now I'm on Guardian, it's that. Interesting glitch. So it's a lot to get used to, and then you even have the laboratory with the random elixirs. So they do fit in another bit of microtransaction into this in a way. It's definitely not as bad as the other, because it's only giving you those, like, talismans and stuff. That does make zombies a little bit easier, but usually you will have someone queued into your match that's usually really good. There's a lot of people that really love this mode and just can run around, like, for days, you know, and just, like, it's, like, the easiest thing in the world for them, and it's amazing. Kudos to them. But, so, the zombies map, cool. The multiplayer map's cool. The Blackout stuff, I don't, like, honestly, I really don't care. Like, I think it's an okay battle royale, but it's an okay battle royale. Like, why not? I'd rather play Fortnite, and I already have, like, so much, you know, put into Fortnite that it's like, you know, the Blackout's cool because it's like Fortnite, but with, like, you know, Call of Duty style shooting. But Call of Duty style shooting, often, you know, you die. You, like, especially, you know, in Call of Duty. So it's like you queue into this thing, and it takes like 30 seconds to a minute to get into your match. Now you fly down. I definitely feel like people spread out in Blackout a lot more than they do in Fortnite. Like, you can't really get to an outside area. Like, you're gonna be fighting probably. You know, people do spread out pretty well on this map, and there really is a lot of different places to go to on the map. And usually you will have enough guns by the time you get into the circle, you know, because you're also not spending time getting supplies like you do in Fortnite, and that takes up a lot of time, you know. So it's more so you're just trying to find weapons, more like PUBG, but it's way more fast-paced than PUBG, you know, and it's a little more tactical, you know. So it's nice, but I find like you spend all this time, you get so far, and then you die so fast, and then the amount of XP you get from the Blackout mode is so nominal compared to like multiplayer and stuff. So when you get these times of like the black market tier, if you're not getting kills in the Blackout mode, you know, or if you're not surviving to like the top 5 or whatnot, I find you don't get much XP at all. Like, I'm still, am I really, I think I'm level 1 still. Yeah, I guess I'm level 1. Let's see. Definitely level 1. Definitely level 1 right now. You know, like, how dismal. Ooh, I've unlocked the Reaper? Did I get that from the update? I think I got that from the update.
Full metal, everything.
Oh, man, look at that. Look at that. That looks cute. That looks cute. But yeah, so it's just, you know, and then you only got the choice of quads, duos, solos, you know, close quarters frenzy. So machine guns, shotguns, pistols only increase collapse speed, eliminate all enemy players. So they're doing like a little fun mode, kind of like Fortnite does, which is kind of cool, you know, but it's like, why play it? In my opinion, it's like, why play it? Especially with black market tier, you know, going on here, and you're trying to, you know, you're forced to play and unlock things because you already paid for this game, but you know what? Actual content of weapons are coming out that you won't be able to unlock unless you play. Why am I going to play Blackout when I'd be better off doing multiplayer with shorter matches? I'll get a heck of a lot more XP, a heck of a lot more kills, you know, a heck of a lot more everything. Or even for those people who do zombies, you're still going to get more XP in that than you will in Blackout. You know, let me know if I'm wrong, but from what I've noticed, it just seems like I don't get much from Blackout. So when I take all that into account, it's like, so, you know, all together, the season pass for this is okay. It's just okay. You know, same as my initial review of the game, it's just okay. You know, and for $100, you know, it's a little bit of a letdown. For $100, a little bit of a letdown to get just okay. You know, I think that, I hope that they decide to stop the yearly releases of Call of Duties and really try and take like a year or two and make like a really, really crazy good Call of Duty. Yeah, because this is okay, so that it's close. It's close. You know, if they would have kept in story mode and everything, you know, if they'd really wow us, you know, and make some maps that just are unbelievable and cause, you know, I think they could get rid of the specialist abilities and just go back to being a shooter, you know, and not trying to be the shooter of Overwatch series types games, you know, where you got abilities that will get you most likely like a kill or make it easier to get a bunch of, you know, XP so that you can, you know, call in a kill streak or two. You know, I just feel like kill streaks, like back in the day, every match you'd be getting a helicopter coming in, you know, like there was always like one person quite often that would be getting like crazy kill streaks. You know, if you were playing with your friends, it was like every match was like that, you know. But yeah, then you get sometimes the matches where it was even, you know. But I kind of think you earned, like I said in the review yesterday, you earned your bonuses back in the day. The only way to get your bonuses, your kill streaks, was to kill, was to be better than the other players. And now, you know, you add in the kind of Overwatchy type specialist abilities, then you get people getting, you know, often kill streaks a little bit faster because they've got this ability that they get just because of time instead of skill. you know, and that causes a lot of people to get less kill streaks because this person got something that's very powerful because of time, not because of skill, to stop you on your journey of maybe getting a helicopter or something. You know, if you choose the higher cost kill streaks, you know, so then all of a sudden comes in with their hammer and just hammers you, you know, which is pretty much gonna kill you as long as they can get close enough, you know, with all the different flanking positions and everything. It's not that hard for that person to get in, so as long as they can find you, they could stop you before you get that, you know, helicopter or something that would be a little bit more OP to come out. You know, so I kind of do miss the first person shooter aspect of it, of skill. I miss that skill gap where people aren't getting something amazing just due to time, you know, and getting it because of skill. So I mean, if they could change that, those score streaks to more of a kill based earning instead of an overtime earning, then that'd be cool. Like, maybe you earn it as long as you get X amount of kills, instead of it slowly building up no matter what, you know, as you go, letting it be, you know, like, solely because of kills. Then maybe it'll make it a little bit better if there's really, like, maybe we can just make that middle ground. I don't know if y'all agree, let me know, but maybe make that middle ground that way. But I mean, I love the old shooters. I mean, I spend most of my days back in the day playing those games. I mean, really, it was Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and World at War before that. We're, like, every day coming home from school, playing it. Me and my friends would get together. We'd try and prestige as much as we could. Like, that was our high school and college days right there, was Call of Duty. You know, and before Call of Duty, it was Halo 1, Halo 2, you know, like, going ham. You know, so it's like first-person shooters is one of the biggest types of games in the gaming world. Like, it's been something that's been played since the early days of gaming. One of the first, like, 3D model games, like, if I remember correctly, on PC was either Quake or Doom. It was the first, like, 3D, you know, world where, like, things were walking and you can spin around and see around. So, you know, in a way, gaming and first-person shooter pushed computers to even get stronger and better and progress. So, you know, I hope to see first-person games innovate a heck of a lot more, you know, whereas this, I don't really see the innovation. Multiplayer has a rip-off of Overwatch. Blackout has a rip-off of, you know, PUBG, Fortnite. Zombies is just a general horde mode and was a rip-off from back in the day, you know, from general horde modes, you know. So, I mean, it was kind of innovative the way they've done it, with the windows to repair them and then opening up doors and stuff, and the point system. It wasn't innovative back in the day, but it's just a continuation. So if the only thing that you really have in your game right now that is kind of like spawned from your own self is zombies and the other two modes, so 1/3 of your game is kind of like a continuation of the innovation that you made back in the day, whereas the other two is just a cop off of innovations that kind of other people have made and directions that other games have made. It's like, what do you feel about your own self as a game and as a company then? That you're like, we need to change ourselves to match others. You know, don't you want to innovate for yourself? So I hope that they decide to really, you know, just take some time and really try and make something crazy awesome. I don't know. But that's my review. That is the end of the review.
Review finished! And it comes out as just okay. Yes.
So if you're watching on YouTube, click like, leave a comment. If you're watching on Twitch, leave a comment there. Hit follow, subscribe, all that jazz. I stream Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I do playthroughs, and I do a review at the end where you can join in if you want to, or you can lurk and just enjoy the channel as a TV channel. It doesn't matter to me. However you want to enjoy the channel and enjoy the content is up to you. I just hope you enjoy it. But if you want to come by sometimes Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I post on Twitter and in our very own Discord when I'm about to go live usually. Pretty much, yeah, I do it on Twitter. You'll see something on there, guaranteed. And then Discord is only when I get the, you know, more often than not I will. More often than sometimes I don't, and I admit it. I gotta get better at it. I will try my best. But, definitely come by sometime and join us and join in on the review, join in on the conversation if you want, or lurk. Either or. And if you're watching live, thank you for watching live, everybody. Thank you for bringing the good vibes. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for joining in on everything. I hope everyone has a good night, and we'll be back tomorrow for probably some more multiplayer games, or I might check out. There's another game I saw, so we'll see. We'll see. Bye 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 bye.